Okay, there is a, what you call this, an Excel sheet appearing on your screen right now. Okay, so this video today is recorded, so if you have any question later on, you can just refer to this video and then you can ask further question in the WhatsApp lah, right? So you can also ask right now regarding the individual assignment. So this is our individual assignment. Okay, maybe some of you are familiar with this already. This is regarding the purchase order database. Okay, so the purchase order database, they have three main questions, and it is broken down into subsections, sub-question, A, B, C. So the data set is on the next sheet. So you can head over to the Excel sheet below here. Okay, so this individual assignment is already in your UFuture. So you can go ahead and download it, all right? Okay, so right now we focus on this one. If you can see at your, what do you call this, the left bottom screen, there is two sheets. One is assignment question, one is data. So the second one, when I click this data, come out the data set. Okay, so we will have few columns here from column A to column J, and all of these data will be used for you to answer this question. Okay, for example, we look at the first question here. There is a question asking you to find the total cost of all order. Okay, we have the purchase order database in this Excel. Okay, so this is called the purchase order database. And what they asked you to find just now was the total cost. Okay, so for example, I'm going to show you the first one, 1A, the total cost of all order. So we go to find the total cost. So which one do you think would be the total cost? So when we look at this is for this column, column E. Column E is regarding the item cost. So each item costs RM4.25, for example, for Halki fastener. And how many Halki fasteners were purchased? I mean, here shown the numbers that was purchased for this from this supplier, and the item was A-frame fastener, so it was 19,500. So this one multiplied by the item cost, quantity multiply item cost, gives you the total cost per order, total cost of order for one of these item. However, the question of 1A asks you to find the total cost of all orders. So meaning all of these items from all of these suppliers. Okay, so what you need to do is you take all of this and sum total up from the top screen until the bottom screen, which is this one. So remember, what did we do? We use the function tab. We can use the shortcut way whereby we manually type into the one of the box, we put equal, the equal sign, and in order for us to total up all of these items here, we use the sum. Okay, meaning we just type SUM, sum. Okay, we first want to find the total number within the column G. So we go ahead and click sum, right? And then the next one is we will highlight all of this data set from column G. All right, so column G, and then we close the bracket. And the final task is to press enter. So there you have a total cost of order. Okay, total cost of all the orders made by all of these suppliers from all of the items. Okay, so there you have the answer. The first one, 1A. Right? 1A is, of course, I will look at how do you find it. So the way that I will mark your individual assignment is also not only to see the, what you call this, numbers here, but also to see the way that you calculate. So later on, when you submit in the, what you call this, UFuture, there will be a link provided in UFuture for you to submit the assignment. Now, for you to submit the assignment, you submit it in the, what do you call this, Excel format. I think you can submit in Excel format. PDF, let's see. I think you can submit in PDF. It's not, you can go ahead and submit PDF, no worries. Or I will do two links. One link is for Excel, one link is for PDF. So that one later we decide. Okay, because I need to see the way that you calculate, for example, like this. So I will click like this, and the blue indicator will show the viewer how did the answer was generated. Okay, so this is the one of the ways that you can find the answer. And also, besides using the shortcut way, you can use this way. Okay, if you can see on the top left hand side of your screen right now, I'm clicking on an icon here at the top left hand side, which is called the FX button or insert function. So when I click it, okay, make sure you delete this equal sign first. Okay, so when you click it, same goes to the way previously, whereby you try to find the total. So the total is sum. Okay, so they give you a few options here: sum, some ifs, some product, and so on. But for the purpose of question 1A, we want to find the sum. So you go ahead and click SUM and insert function, right? So once we are doing the insert function, okay, over here they already given you the selection, what do you call this, column, but what you can do is you delete it first, and because we did it previously, so it was automatically highlighting the column just now. But if it did not automatically highlight the column, you have to do it manually. So click it in this box here, sum, okay, and you do it the same way like you did it just now. Okay, so if you want to see the result, normally the result, if you look at your right hand side of your screen, okay, there is a prior result before you would click done to have your final result. So this is showing the numbers that was being generated. So the question, the answer is 2 million plus. And they also give you the reasoning behind the answer. For example, what is sum? It is add of all the numbers in the range of cell, and also explaining you about what are the numbers that was calculated to generate the answer. So you go ahead and click that, and there you have it. The same answer is generated, 2,471,760. All right, so that is the way that you can. There are two ways. One is the shortcut way, and then another one is using the function tab on your top left hand side of your screen. All right, hope you understand. For doing the first answer, to get the first answer, and of course we have many other answers for our assignment 1. For example, 1B, the total quantity and the total cost. And they will also ask you to extract all orders for control panel. And also all orders for quantity less than 500, all orders for control panel quantities of less than 500 in the purchase order database. And another one is how to use the pivot table function to create a cross tabulation of product ordered by supplier from the tabulation result. So where to find the pivot table? It is in the ribbon. Okay, this is the top. We may have gone through this, but never mind. I'm just showing you because this is an online session, right? So it might be a bit tough for you to do it by yourself later on. So never mind. You can always refer back to our recorded video this morning. So you can, I'm showing you right now to how to answer question number 3, right? So question number 3, they want you to use this pivot table, okay? Right, the pivot table. So pivot table is located on the ribbon here, on the top screen here. You can see a lot of commands here. Which one you want to use? You have to find the pivot table. So you go one by one. As you can see at the home tab here, there is none mentioning about pivot table. So we go ahead, progress to the second tab. And once we click the second tab, we can see there is a pivot table. So why does it not appear? Because you don't have a data set. So what you do is you go to the second sheet and it will automatically being enabled because there is a data set. Okay, if you go here, then disable. Go here, it's enabled back, right? So pivot table is either what you could do is you go for recommended or pivot table. So we go and look at the question again. Use the pivot table function to create a cross tabulation of products ordered by supplier. And from the tabulation result, identify in more term which supplier received the most order and which supplier received the least from the firm. Okay, so suppliers, right? Suppliers. And most order, right? Most order in monetary term. Most order in monetary term. So it should be this one, cost per order, right? Because after you find the item cost and the quantity, we want to find which one have the most order. Okay, now what we can do is we select everything first. Okay, and then we click pivot table. You can either put it on the new worksheet or the existing worksheet. For me, what I do is I normally put it on the new worksheet. So now you have a third worksheet because this now was the question and then the data set, and then now is for the pivot table. You can rename it as the pivot table. And you can even drag. Okay, you can drag. Okay. So now it is back in order. Assignment question, data, and pivot table. Okay. All right. So you have a command box here on your right-hand side of your screen. You have a command box. So all of the items from the column, okay, we can see that from here, the supplier, order number, item description, until arrival date, it is located inside this box. So what does it mean? Okay, it means you can actually select it in rows, or what you could do, you can just drag it. For example, I'm just showing you what are the purpose. Okay, for example, if you just click on it, hold, and drag it to the row, as you can see, it automatically, what we call this, combine, or not combine, what we call this, kumpul lah, all of these same, these are suppliers, right? So if we see here, there is all of the suppliers are repeated and jumbled up. So it's kind of messy, right? So when we use the pivot table, we can see that there's only how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 kinds of suppliers. But when we go to the data set, there are 8 kinds, but it is all jumbled up and it's not being identified how many suppliers are there. So pivot table essentially help you to identify how many numbers or suppliers are there in the data set. Okay, so it's either you want to move it to row or you could move it to columns. So it become like this. So what pivot table do essentially is to help assisting you in actually making a table. Okay, so back to the question, right? Use the pivot table function to create cross tabulation of product order by supplier. From the tabulation result, identify in monetary terms which supplier received the most order and which supplier received the least order. So we go to pivot table again. So maybe I think this is what, the best way how we would assign the suppliers based on rows, right? Do you agree? So if you don't agree, then you can find another way. Maybe you want to do it like this or like this. It's up to you. But you have to remember, it have to be visually presentable. Huh? Okay. So next is what we want to do next. Let me see. The most order in monetary term. So I'm guessing. What do you think? Using cost per order. Okay, let's go to find cost per order. So where do you think we would put it? We can put it in columns. Okay, it'll be looking like this. Okay, or what we do is we put it here in rows. Can be like this. We put it in filter, or what we can do, we put in values. So once we put in values, you can see that it's already being summed up, whereby the alum sheeting has been totaled up. All of the alum sheeting have been totaled up. Okay, so you have this cost per order, and of course they want you to what? From receive the least from the firm, the most order and which supplier received the least order. So which one? If we could see from here, where it disappears now. Okay. So another way is there's a small indicator here. Okay. You can just click on this the icon, okay, or some of here when you go to these values, right? You click on this icon, and then you want to know the maximum value, the minimum value. Okay. You want to find the minimum value. Okay, this is the total number. Okay, so this is minimum order. So we want to find the maximum, right? Let's see. which supplier received the most order in monetary term and which supplier received the least. But this one is just for one of the items, right? So we don't do this. We use the previous answer. What we can do is also press Control Z or Command Z for MacBook. Okay. So which one? So I'll identify the list as highlight. Let me highlight it. So the list I would, for example, for my style, I'll do it in red. Okay, and then the most we can see right from here, we can actually do it manually. Okay, green. Okay, so this one is the most. What is the least? So there you have it. You already have the answer for 3A, right? Very easy. Okay. So that's the example of how can you actually do this question. Let me see. I'm sharing. Okay, okay or not okay? So far so good. You can you do it by yourself?
Good, sir.
Right, huh? So what you can do is
Inshallah,
we have
boleh.
plenty of. Sorry.
Inshallah, boleh, sir.
Okay. All right. So I think you have plenty of time. You can actually, the submission is 2 weeks, 1 week plus from now. But it's good if you could actually attempt it already today, referring to the video, or even you can refer to YouTube also. But anyway, I'm also going to share it through YouTube. I mean, looking at others' content of how to actually use certain of the function tab in Excel, I believe you can already answer this individual assignment. So normally for individual assignment, for instance, our Excel sheet just now or in PDF format later on, what you need to do is also do a cover page. Also, a cover page that you need to include in all of your assignments, including our first individual assignment. So you need to prepare a cover page like you normally do, whereby you have your name, the logo of your ITM and so forth. Do a standard one, and then attach it, put it inside your Excel. Okay, if you are not used to it, so you can learn whereby you can just copy the image or copy the, the whole content from the Word and then paste it in Excel. All right, so that is required. So that one you could make it as the first sheet. Okay, then followed by the answers, followed by the questions and the answers, and followed by all the rest of the answers that you are doing through your Excel sheet. So you can even label each of the sheet as the answer, or put all of the answer in one Excel sheet. But if you want to make it look nice, you could even make it one sheet for one answer. But then again, if you want to convert it into PDF, that would be a challenge. So you need to also um, know how to convert Excel to PDF format. Okay, there's a lot of content I'll share with you also how to actually convert Excels into PDF. Because sometimes when you convert the Excels into PDF, the what do you call this, the sheet, for example, instance, it is in the what do you call this? There's landscape, right? Landscape and portrait. So sometimes when you do it portrait, it break, okay, because your data is in landscape format, and then when you change it to portrait, the whole thing becomes unreadable, and the columns and rows is broken down, okay, not attached with each other. So later I'll show you a tutorial from YouTube how to actually make it look nice lah, right? So that's regarding your individual assignment, okay? So we actually also ahead of our lesson plan, meaning that supposedly we are still in chapter 3, right? But we already finished chapter 4, so which is good. And there's also some exercises that you can practice, but essentially just do your individual assignment and then try to submit as soon as possible, so that you could focus on other things. Huh? All right. Okay. Any question? I think that's all for today. There's not much thing. I'll just leave the rest of the session for you to attempt assignment 1. Okay? Is that all right?
Sir,
Yes.
I have question. How about
Yeah.
the internship punya meeting, sir?
Internship meeting. Uh, what do you need to? Okay. So later on, wait.